Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and like this video because we explore the deeper side of human psychology and emotional connection. Today's video is about something most people feel, but very few truly understand. There is a kind of emotional attachment that doesn't announce itself. No dramatic messages, no obvious confessions, just quiet signals that most people overlook. Have you ever felt someone stay in your life without fully stepping away or fully stepping forward? Have you sensed a connection that feels stronger than what is being said? By the end of this video, you will clearly understand the hidden psychological signs that reveal when someone is deeply emotionally attached to you, even if they never say it out loud. Let's begin. There is a strange kind of connection that doesn't use words. It doesn't say, I miss you. It doesn't say, I care about you. And it never makes promises. Yet somehow you feel it. It shows itself in quiet moments, in the way someone keeps coming back into your life, in the way they notice you even when you are silent, in the way their presence stays, even when nothing is being said. Most people believe attachment must be loud to be real. They think love has to announce itself. They think desire has to be obvious. But psychology tells us something very different. Real emotional attachment often hides. It hides because it is vulnerable. It hides because it is afraid of rejection. And it hides because once something is spoken, it can be lost. So instead of saying what they feel, people show it. They show it through attention, through memory, through emotional sensitivity, through the way they react when you change. You might not hear, I don't want to lose you, but you will feel it when they grow uneasy as you pull away. You might not hear, you matter to me, but you will see it when they remember things no one else does. These quiet signals are not accidents. They are the language of emotional attachment. And once you learn how to read this invisible language, you will begin to notice something powerful. Some people have been emotionally connected to you long before you ever realized it. There is a moment that feels small, but carries deep meaning. You casually mention something about yourself, a favorite song, a childhood memory, a habit you don't even think is important. And weeks later, sometimes even months later, they bring it up, not to impress you, not to show off, just naturally, as if it mattered. And in that moment, you pause and think, how did they remember that? Psychology explains this very clearly. The human brain is not designed to remember everything. It filters most information out. Most conversations fade. Most details disappear. Only emotionally important information stays. When someone is deeply attached to you, their brain marks everything connected to you as emotionally meaningful. Your stories, your preferences, your reactions, your little habits. This is called emotional encoding. It means information is stored not as data, but as feeling. That is why they don't just remember what you said, they remember how you said it. They remember when you were nervous, when you were excited, when you were hiding something. They start to notice patterns, how your mood changes when you are tired, how you grow quiet before you open up, how you smile when you pretend you are okay. This doesn't happen by accident. People only study those who matter to them. So when someone remembers the smallest details about you, it is not because they have a good memory. It is because you have emotional weight in their mind. And people only remember deeply what they are afraid to lose, even if they have never admitted it to themselves. There is a special kind of connection where words are no longer required. You don't have to say that you are tired. They hear it in your voice. You don't have to say that something is wrong. They sense it in your silence. Sometimes they ask, are you okay? And you weren't even planning to talk about it. Psychology calls this emotional attunement. It happens when two people become emotionally familiar with each other over time. Their nervous systems begin to recognize each other's emotional patterns. When someone is deeply attached to you, their brain automatically tracks how you usually sound, how you usually text, how you usually show up. So when something changes, they notice it immediately. Your replies become shorter, your tone feels quieter, your energy feels heavier, and even if you say nothing, they feel it. This happens because of mirror neurons, the part of the brain that allows humans to feel what others feel. When attachment is strong, these neurons become more active. Your sadness affects them. Your stress unsettles them. Your happiness lifts them. Someone who is just casually interested listens to your words. Someone who is emotionally attached listens to your emotional signals. That is why when you pull back emotionally, they feel uneasy. Even if they cannot explain why, they sense the distance. Your emotional state has started to matter to their sense of safety. You are no longer just someone in their life. You have become part of their emotional world. And that is one of the clearest signs of deep emotional attachment. You don't have to disappear for them to feel it. You don't have to make a big change. Sometimes you simply become a little quieter. You reply a little slower. You share a little less. And somehow they notice. Psychology explains this through something called attachment sensitivity. When someone is emotionally attached, their nervous system becomes alert to any change in closeness with the person who matters to them. To the outside world, nothing looks different, but inside them, something feels off. They may not confront you directly. They may not say, "You are pulling away." Instead, you will see it in their behavior. They ask more questions. They check in more often. They seem more emotionally aware of you. This is not about control. It is about emotional security. When someone becomes attached, your presence becomes a stabilizing force in their inner world. So when that presence feels uncertain, their system reacts. You might think, "I am just busy. I am just tired." But to someone emotionally attached, your distance feels meaningful. They don't just miss talking to you. They miss the emotional comfort you give them. And when that comfort changes, they feel unsettled. This can show up as overthinking, as sudden worry, as a quiet need for reassurance. Underneath all of it is one simple truth. They are afraid of losing emotional closeness with you. People who are not attached adapt easily to distance. They move on without much feeling. But when someone reacts to even small changes in your presence, it is because you already matter deeply to them. This sign is very quiet. So quiet that many people mistake it for coincidence. They don't send emotional messages. They don't confess their feelings. They don't demand your attention. They simply stay. They message you about something small. They send a post that reminded them of you. They ask a question they could easily find the answer to. They bring up an old memory for no clear reason. And when you really think about it, there is no strong reason for them to keep reaching out. Yet they do. Psychology calls this proximity-seeking behavior. When emotional attachment forms, the mind looks for ways to stay close to the person who matters without taking the risk of being rejected. Instead of saying, "I miss you," they say, "I saw this and thought of you." Instead of saying, "I don't want to lose you," they say, "How have you been?" They choose presence over confession. This happens because attachment creates two fears at the same time: the fear of losing the person and the fear of revealing how much they care. So they stay in the middle, close enough to feel connected, safe enough to avoid being vulnerable. If someone keeps finding small, simple, ordinary reasons to stay in your life, it is not random. It means losing access to you would feel like losing something important, even if they are not ready to admit it yet. Not all care is loud. Not all attachment announces itself. Sometimes it shows up in the quiet ways someone looks out for you. They notice when you are stressed. They notice when something in your life feels heavy. They notice when you are not okay, even if you say nothing. And without making a scene, they step in. Psychology tells us that when emotional attachment forms, the brain develops a natural protective instinct. Your safety, comfort, and well-being become connected to their emotional state. So when you are struggling, they feel it. When you are uncomfortable, they become alert. When something threatens your peace, they care. You might see this in small actions. They check on you. They offer support. They quietly make sure you are okay. They do not do this for attention. They do not do it to be noticed. It is not something they plan. It is something they feel. This kind of protection is one of the strongest signs of deep attachment, because people only feel responsible for those who matter emotionally to them. When someone looks out for you without being asked, it means your well-being has become important to their inner world. And that is how attachment speaks when words are never used. When you look at these signs together, a clear pattern appears. They remember the small details about you. They feel your emotions without needing explanations. They react when you pull away. They find reasons to stay connected. They quietly protect you. These behaviors do not happen by accident. Psychology shows that emotional attachment changes how the brain works. Your presence becomes emotionally important. Your mood affects their nervous system. Your distance feels meaningful. Your well-being becomes something they care about. This is what happens when someone forms a real emotional bond. They may never say, "I am attached to you." They may act calm on the surface. They may even try to hide what they feel. But behavior never lies. Attachment shows itself through attention, sensitivity, and consistency. It shows through the way someone holds space for you in their life. If you have recognized these signs in someone, it means something important. You are not just a passing thought in their mind. You are part of their emotional world, and that kind of connection is rare, meaningful, and powerful, even when it is never spoken out loud. If this video made you reflect on someone in your life, that feeling is not random. Human connection is powerful, and when someone becomes emotionally attached, their actions begin to speak louder than their words. Understanding these signs is not about control or manipulation. It is about awareness. It is about recognizing when a connection is deeper than it appears. You deserve relationships that feel safe, genuine, and emotionally present. And when someone quietly shows you care, attention, and consistency, that matters. If you found value in this video, please like it to support the channel. Comment below, "I see the signs now," so we know you were here. And subscribe, because the next video will explore what it truly means when someone feels deeply connected but is afraid to admit it. Thank you for spending this time with me. May you always find clarity, peace, and meaningful connection in your life. God bless you. Take care.